This week on Cinematic Observations, we take a look at the 1996 motion picture Happy Gilmore. Is it a movie or is it a film?
Any motion picture is a movie until we deem it a film. Is golf even real?
There was not enough subway in this movie.
I completely disagree. Hello and welcome back to Cinematic Observations. My name is Randall Wells.
And my name is Benjamin Kane.
Today we'll be taking a look at Happy Gilmore, starring Adam Richard Sandler as the titular Happy Gilmore.
Dreaming of one day playing in the National Hockey League, Happy struggles to make it. But to his chagrin, his dreams just simply aren't coming to fruition.
And on top of that, his grandmother's house is being foreclosed upon by the Internal Revenue Service. And if he cannot amass such wealth in 90 days, his grandmother will lose her humble abode.
All starts to turn around, however, when Happy discovers that he can hit a golf ball a respectable distance of 450 yards. With the help of his mentor, Chubbs, played by Mr. Carl Weathers, Happy starts entering golf tournaments in order to amass the aforementioned sum of $270,000.
Throughout these tournaments, Happy faces his greatest rival yet, Shooter McGavin, played by Christopher McDonald. No relation to the popular fast food chain. He also meets the lovely Virginia Bennett, played by Julie Bowen Lukemeyer, to whom he takes an instant fancy.
The picture concludes with Happy winning back his grandmother's domain, getting the girl, and living happily ever after.
And Adam Richard Sandler, he's a funny guy.
He is a comedian, and within the movie he has good comedic timing.
Yes.
That being said, though,
he's not a true thespian.
He's not an acteur of the arts. He doesn't understand the depth,
No.
the emotion, the pain, the longing
No.
that you have to bring to any part, comedic or dramatic. And I always say when I watch a comedy, I like to have a good, hearty guffaw.
Yes.
At some point within the movie, even if it's just once. But in this movie, I only had a few chuckles.
Maybe a nose laugh. Maybe a good...
Yeah, but that was it.
Yeah.
I wanted my stomach to hurt.
I wanted to be rolling on the floor, laughing out loud.
And that just simply didn't happen within this movie.
No, it did not.
But I think besides the comedic aspect to Happy's character, there was the respectable trait of a deep love for his grandmother.
An admirable thing for any character in a movie to have.
And I think that kind of made up for some of the lack of comedy, because it gave it a heart. It gave it a pulse. I could feel that when I was watching. I felt the pulse.
The
within
love
me.
of a family member.
And that really warmed me. It made me feel things I haven't felt in a long time.
Yes. I was never loved. Now we're going to talk about the things that we didn't like about this movie.
And let me tell you, it was a lot.
There were a lot.
A lot.
First of all, Virginia's character,
Yeah.
she was forgettable.
Very forgettable. In fact, at the end of the movie, her name popped up in the credits, and I turned to Randall and I said, "Who was that?"
He said that to me. And I said,
Who was that?
I don't know.
We didn't remember who she was.
No.
And in fact, the same can be said for most of the characters in this movie.
Yes.
I don't remember.
There was no substance.
There was no substance to the actors, no depth. I didn't care about any of the people.
I didn't care!
Something else that bothered me about this movie was that Happy didn't truly care about golf.
No. He didn't care about the gentleman's game.
One of the most loved and respected games in history, he was just so disrespectful.
Yes.
Not only to the game, but when he started being disrespectful to the players,
That made me furious.
that made me angry, frustrated. I started to sweat. My blood started to boil.
Yes.
I had to take a Kleenex and wipe it off my face.
And I didn't have to have a box of Kleenexes next to me because there were such beautiful scenes. I had them next to me because I was sweating because the cinematography in this movie is abysmal.
Abysmal.
It just does its job. There's nothing spectacular about it. There's no Tarantino zooms or Nolan great wide expanses.
And speaking of the cinematography, because of the way that this movie was shot so carelessly, Randall and I found a plethora of goofs that really, frankly, ticked us off.
They ticked us off.
The first and foremost being, within the first 10 minutes of the movie, Happy is trying out for the National Hockey League, and he hits a slap shot, and it breaks some glass. And then they cut away, as you do when you edit.
Yes. And when it cuts back, the glass is back.
It's back, somehow, magically.
I said to Benjamin, I said, there's no way that they could have called the glass repairman, and he drives over in his truck and reinstalls some glass in that short amount of time.
It's just not realistic.
And second of all, the shots from the ball's perspective are mathematically impossible.
They don't make any sense
No.
that they should exist. And also, when you shoot something from someone's perspective in a movie, you're supposed to feel how that thing or person feels. But this was a ball.
I'm not a ball. I don't know about you, but I'm not a ball.
And I don't know how to relate to a ball.
When I think of a well-rounded character, I don't think of a sphere. I think of good personality traits
That make the character likable. And there's depth, but not a ball.
No.
And then there was the date scene. This scene got us irate. During the date scene, Happy tells Virginia if she misses a slap shot from half court, she has to give him a kiss. And so she hits it and it goes in.
Go straight in.
And
very
so-
clearly.
Happy should not get a kiss. It's not a just reward.
No. But she gives him a kiss anyway. She claims that she didn't see it go in, when very clearly in the movie, it shows it going in. Virginia is a liar.
She's a liar.
Not only forgettable, she's a liar.
Which really just added to my disdain,
Yes.
anger towards that character.
I hated her.
So with all this being said, there were a couple redeeming parts or aspects to this motion picture.
I agree.
However, the bad simply outweighs the good, at least 100 to 1.
And that is why we give this motion picture the damning title of
A movie.
You will never be a film, jackass!